Are you the type of person that your friends hate playing Settlers of Catan with because you sap all their resources with your big brain plays and you take the fun out of everything? That doesn't sound very great, but if you did answer yes, today's episode of Deck Cooking is for you. Welcome back, guys. My name is Josh Cito, and today I have a very special deck for y'all cooked up by a Japanese player on an online tournament that uses Magnezone EX and Relicanth of all Pokemon to cycle Crushing Hammers, make your opponent waste their resources, and have them anguish while you laugh maniacally. So without further ado, let's dive right in and break down this insane deck. Alright, let's go ahead and do a quick deck profile / review of the Magnezone control deck. So first things first, shout out to Omochi-kun. They are a player from Japan who first brought this archetype into the limelight by running it in a limitless online tournament and doing really well, going 5-1. So I know a lot of PokeTubers are basing their deck reviews off of their deck, and so am I. Their deck runs their Magnezone EX as the star of the show with the Energy Crush plus the Pulse Launcher ability. 330 HP is really tanky, and both of these do fantastic damage for their energy cost. Energy Crush does 50 damage for each energy attached to your opponent's Pokemon, so it's really great into a lot of meta decks right now. For example, Lost Tina or Arc Piles like to stack energy, and of course Lugia also stacks energy as well. But the real interesting fact is the Relicanth pairing with this. Relicanth has an ability called Memory Dive, which allows you to use any of the abilities of your previous evolutions for the Pokemon that are in play. So Magnezone EX will then get access to things like Junk Magnet on the Magneton. Now Junk Magnet is really great because it allows you to get 2 items from your discard pile back into your hand. So essentially you are cycling resources like your Crushing Hammer and your Counter Catcher back in after using them. So as you can imagine, you can basically infinitely loop Crushing Hammer plays over and over again and make your opponent run out of energy and control the board with their Counter Catcher as well. It is worth noting, however, that Relicanth's Memory Dive only works if you play the entire line of evolution. So if you skip it with a rare candy, it does not actually work. So it's really important that you actually run a Magneton instead of a rare candy. For this reason, you aren't going to be doing anything like a Pidgeot or a Pidgey line. Instead, you're going to be using the Bidoof and the Bibarel as your main draw support. The really cool thing about this, as well as since your main goal is to get rid of your opponent's resources, you can pair it with Eri, which is really good at disrupting your opponent's hand, as well as a Misfortune Sister by discarding any item cards that they may have in their deck as well. So this is pretty good because overall you're going to be controlling the pace and the game, so your opponent's not going to be able to get important key resources like a Mirage Gate. They're not going to be able to get important things like a Switch, and you're going to be able to Counter Catcher Trap plus Crushing Hammer trap your opponent. You also run a Cyllene, so it allows you to use stuff like Professor Turo and your Hero's Cape in order to heal and buff up your Magnezone EX, which potentially can have 430 HP twice in a row. And so Magnezone EX just becomes a really big wall and sticky Pokemon that your opponent can't really get rid of. So overall, that's the name of the game for this deck. Let's go ahead and dive into some games and see how it actually plays. Ooh! Ow, that hurt. Hold up, if you guys like free stuff, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this video and channel. If you do, I will pick one random winner to win 100 PTCGL codes and some cool prizes. And now I'm gonna see a doctor for my hand. Ow. Alrighty, here, diving into a quick game. I say quick game, however, most of the control games I play with Magnezone has lasted for a very long time. So hopefully this one goes smoothly here. I wonder what is going to happen. I get the choice to go first, so I will actually go first here. If you go first, you actually have a chance to get that sweet turn to Magnezone into play if you manage to get evolution available, so that could be pretty cool. I do, however, start with Relicanth in the active spot. I'm not very happy with that. The deck doesn't have many ways for you to switch out, so starting with Relicanth is unfortunate, but I do of course have the Buddy-Buddy Poffin, so I don't mind too much. My opponent is playing with an Iron Leaf, so I wonder if this is some sort of Arc Pile, Arc Tina perhaps, or it could be Lost Tina with Iron Leaves as well as for that Zard counter. Not going to dwell too much on that. I do have the double Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Really fantastic start here for me. I will get Magnemites, and I will go ahead and get another Bidoof here. But I have a very strong bench right now in terms of being able to actually get the ball rolling here. I think I'm going to end my turn. Nothing else I can really do here. I'm happy with that. If my Relicanth gets knocked out, it is what it is. I would be more than happy to sacrifice it for some sort of evolution play next turn and potentially get that turn to Magnezone in. They will collapse Stadium here, so it prevents me from getting something like a Skwovet into play. Okay, with an Altaria as well. Very interesting. I wonder if this is Regidrago. It could be Regidrago Pile, which I have not seen in literally ages. Regidrago being a bit of a fringe deck as well. So we will see if it is that. I don't really want to get rid of Cyllene. I really want to get rid of Countercatcher, but I can always get the Cyllene back later. We'll go ahead and get the Bibarel. I should have. I misplayed there. Maybe I should have just used a Crushing Hammer first earlier, but it's fine. We will go ahead and do this. We'll get the heads. We'll discard this energy here. I can always get the Cyllene back later with Pal Pad. I will drop this, and we'll go ahead and Industrious Incisors as well for the 5-card draw. Misfortune Sisters, it is what it is. Magneton as well. You know what? Whatever. We'll go Misfortune Sisters here. And we find nothing. So, oh, it's a Northern? Yeah. So this does feel like it's some sort of Regidrago. Very interesting. Some sort of weird Regidrago deck. I'm going to go ahead and Industrious Incisors here again for some more cards. Fortunately, although I do get the TF evolution, I'm not able to find... I'm unable to find the actual energy to actually use it, which does kind of suck. I guess I just grab the Relicanth here. And I pass my turn. There's not much I can do. It might have been a mistake to get rid of the Ultra Ball, actually. I probably should have gotten rid of the Nest Ball. So I already blundered. But as per usual, I misplay all the time. It's a trademark me special. They will Devo me here on everything, which, I mean, I guess it doesn't really do anything here. Just a waste of a Devo. They probably should have waited to do damage and then Devo me later, so I don't really know why they ended up doing that, but sure, I guess. It just allows me to, you know, do this turn. Not a big deal. And I can, of course, just do this myself. Fourth thin. And they are very low on cards here right now. Oh, perf. See, yeah, the thing is, I could go ahead and Turo, but I don't actually have any energy. So one thing that I would like to see in maybe another variation of this is to run more lines of energy, or perhaps even better, run like an energy search, which can be, of course, recycled using your attack, or, you know, like a Pokestop, which I did add in my previous mention of my own deck. Okay, so I do finally get the energy card. I will end up Turoing here and bringing this back into my hand. We'll do that. We'll put the Relicanth down, and I will be able to Industrious Incisors here and find myself a very nice Crushing Hammer. Fortunately, I do hit the heads, but it's totally fine. We will end up using my Junk Magnet ability. I realized later on that I didn't actually evo this into the Magnezone before I threw this into the active spot. So that was pretty stupid of me, I will admit. But it's okay. I forget that I have more Industrious Incisors here. The card just doesn't glow. We'll do this. We'll throw away the Collapse Stadium here. This out. Fine with that. And I think I just Junk Magnet here and grab myself. Let's see. I could grab myself Double Crushing Hammer. You know what? I'm okay with Double Crushing Hammer. I am definitely okay with that. Maybe I should have gone an Ultra Ball. Potentially could have been a good play as well. But I'm greedy. I'll hit it eventually. Okay, Regidrago is now in play here. They could V-Power. They could V-Power. Yeah, they will likely do that. And they're going to select what they want here. Legacy Star, of course, is lots of synergy with Apex Dragon. So let's see what they're going to end up grabbing from their discard pile. I'm assuming it is going to be... Okay, yeah, so it is the Arceus. They will retreat into a Trinity Charge here, assuming that's what they want to do. Well, I mean, that is what they want to do. I'm not assuming anything. Yes, they will most definitely do that. But I do have, of course, a Double Crushing Hammer here, so it's not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, so now it's slightly bad because I'm not finding the Ultra Ball. So hopefully I will get the Crushing Hammer. Yeah, perfect. I do get the heads here. We'll throw this energy out. And we'll Crushing Hammer again. Hopefully get another heads. That would be great. You end up getting another heads. So in fact, that is very great. We'll throw this out as well. And let's hopefully we get a Ultra Ball. We do end up finding the Ultra Ball. Perfect. Just what Doctor ordered. Wait, I did not mean to do that. That was definitely a mistake, but it's fine. We will Ultra Ball here. We will do this and grab ourselves a Magnezone EX. Very, very happy with that. So we'll throw a Magnezone on to the active spot here. And let's go ahead and do a... you know what? I don't actually need a Counter Catcher right now. We'll go ahead and with the Industrious Incisors here. Oh, interesting. We get the Super Rod as well. That's pretty cool. I could potentially Super Rod it back if I need to, but I don't need to right now. Full Incisors. And another Crushing Hammer. Honestly, seriously, what I ordered. Precisely what I ordered. Okay, so unfortunately it doesn't go my way that time, which is fine. I can just go ahead and use that junk magnet to find myself some additional Crushing Hammers to go with my Crushing Hammers. Would you like a Crushing Hammer with a Crushing Hammer? Yes, I would. Yes, I would indeed. Man, this deck is so ridiculously oppressive once it gets going. Once you're able to start looping that, looping the energy, looping the discards, it's just extremely, extremely oppressive. Now, one thing to note is that my Turo is gone, so I think I do have one more. And I didn't bother to check, which is my bad. But I am slightly worried because I do not recall if I had Pal Pad. If I don't have Pal Pad, that could be a problem. They do Hero's Cape here. Sure, that's fine. I will have Lost Vac somewhere available in here, so I don't mind if they Hero's Cape. My opponent did not take any prizes yet, so I'm unable to do something like a Counter Catcher, which is, I guess, a good thing to have if they can't get any prizes. But they did already V-Star, so I don't really know what they're doing. I forgot, they can't actually Starbirth because they already V-Starred. So I'm just going to continue Crushing Hammering them and making it impossible for them to play the game. Unfortunately, nothing there. Can we get a heads this time? We do get a heads, and just continue knocking out their energy and making it really hard for them to do anything at all. And this is just perfectly going according to plan right now. I'm gonna Nest Dash here. Don't need anything of these. Don't need any one of these. Ooh, the Eri. I don't think they're gonna have anything in their hands, so I'm more digging for the Misfortune Sisters here. Another Crushing Hammer. Don't mind if I do. I will gladly go ahead and grab that. So this is also going away. And I mean, at this point, my opponent is just probably banging their head on the table. What can they actually do? Nothing much. So we'll use the Arven as a quick search of my deck to see what I actually have. Okay, so I do have the Pal Pad, so I'm totally fine with that. No issues there. So in this case, I am just going to Lost Vac away, you know, their Hero's Cape. And now that my opponent can't really play the game, I can start actually doing damage with Pulse Launcher here. I don't need to continue in Crushing Hammer. I can start taking knockouts because there is nothing they can do to stop me from doing this. I could, of course, cycle some more Crushing Hammers, but I think they've suffered enough. They add the Koraidon here. It does not do anything for them. Yep, it does not do anything for them at all. Oddly enough, I can't even use the Eri for some reason. I haven't seen this bug before. Don't know why. Maybe my opponent doesn't have any cards that allows me to Eri, but it's weird that it just doesn't let me use it. So thank you, PTCGL, a very fun and well-developed game. Now I could junk Magnet here, or I could just go for some more damage. And, you know, at this point, I feel like I can just, I can afford to just continuously hammer away with Pulse Launcher. Because they just have no energy at all. And if I knock out their Arceus, I don't understand how they're gonna get energy. In fact, I don't think they can get any energy. So we just Pulse Launcher and knock out again. Of course, Pulse Launcher does do damage to myself here, but the Hero's Cape is just providing me with so much health. And this is the name of the game. Unlike other stall decks, you can actually take knockouts with Magnezone because it does a respectable amount of damage. And it's pretty strong. Okay, so they will Professor's Research here. I'm curious to see if they have a double turbo, Retribution Strike, could be an issue. So they will just manually attach here, which can like could be a problem. I think next turn it's setting up for a really perfect Eri play. The one thing I do have to pay attention to is that, of course, Koraidon does have weakness. He will be hitting me for weakness, so he'll be doing double damage. So if I go for something like a a pulse launcher, it's not gonna knock it out. I will get knocked out next turn, so I'm not gonna do that this turn. Instead, I'm just going to use Junk Magnet and get some more of those sweet Crushing Hammers back into my hand. They will Lumineon here, interestingly enough, for a boss. Okay, unfortunately for them, they Professor Breachers this turn, so I'm just going to Iono them next turn, and there's not much they can do about it. Yeah, that's just what I'm gonna do. I mean, I could Eri, but you know what? Let's just avoid them being able to do that at all by just Ionoing. So basically now this Lumineon is just a free knockout. It is essentially just a free knockout. All right. Because of that, I will be able to go ahead and go for another Junk Magnet play here. No, let's just Bibarel. Might as well see what we got here. Oh, there's another Iono in case we need it. We'll just Junk Magnet. I'm definitely not going to Pulse Launcher and risk taking damage, so we will just Junk Magnet here and grab those Crushing Hammers back from the discard back into my hand. And yeah, continue chilling here. There is really nothing much they can do. The one thing is I don't run a boss's orders, so this Koraidon could be a bit of a pain, because if I knock it out at any given point, I could be in trouble, because again, it does have the knockout with Retribution Strike, so I'm a little bit scared. But I think for now I'm okay. Oh wait, actually it doesn't hit for weakness. What am I thinking? That is a complete lie. Koraidon isn't a fighting type, it's a dragon type. It's the other Koraidon that's fighting. I can't believe it. I didn't realize that until now. Professor, by the way. So that was literally a lie. So I'm actually okay with that. I'm completely fine with that. I can actually go for a some damage onto this. Retribution Strike will of course still put me into a very dangerous territory of knocked out, of damage. So I will have to be careful. I'm more comfortable if I were to Crushing Hammer it first. Let's see, what do I have in here? Cyllene, yeah, so let's go for an Eri here. Wow, a Switch and an Ultra Ball. Let's see what else they have here. They have a Tina and a Penny. So they do have, okay, so now I know they have a Penny. I'm not actually going to do damage to it, because if I do, they're just going to Penny it back in. So there's no real point in doing that. I'm just going to go for, another Junk Magnet. What can I do here? I could Pal Pad the Cyllene and the Eri back into my deck. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do this. I think I have one more Turo somewhere in here. Actually didn't check if it was prize. My bad again. I definitely should do that. I keep forgetting to check if it's prize. So we'll just Nest Dash here. And okay, I will take it. I will take that. Thank you very much. Fortunately, I hit heads. So, sorry, I hit tails, so I won't take that. But it's okay. We'll go ahead and Industrial Incisors here. And find nothing of value that I actually need. I know I'm just gonna Bibarel the Arven and the Bibarel. Sorry, I'm gonna Ultra Ball the Arven and the Bibarel. Well, sure, we'll grab this. It doesn't really matter. Actually, I didn't even grab anything. That was a misplay again. It's late at night. It's like 5 a.m. in the morning, and I'm misplaying really badly, but it's fine. I'm just gonna Junk Magnet here. There's no real even if I were to do damage to this right now, it doesn't actually matter because they have the Penny in hand. I could force out the Penny usage here if I want, which could be one way to do it, but I think it's still fine here. Let's go ahead and grab the Double Crushing Hammer. Pal Pad is available as well for me to grab if I want to, but I think the Double Crushing Hammer is more value. I do have the Cyllene as well for me to be able to cycle that back into the deck if I want in the end. But I think I'm probably gonna go for a Turo next turn if I need to. Misfortune Sisters also really strong here if I want. I just have a lot of options. I have a lot of options, but I feel like I'm in complete control here. They do end up getting the energy to actually Retribution Strike. It's only going to do 20 damage to me, so I'm not too scared of that. I'm glad I didn't go for an attack last turn, because it would have done a lot of damage to me here. Are they going to go for... They're not going to retreat for sure, right? That would be really bad of them. Retreat. I'm curious to see... Okay, so they're going to Penny the Lumineon. Okay. Interesting. Getting rid of Lumineon means I can use it again. So we will see if they do. Unfortunately for them, Retribution Strike is not really doing the damage that they need to here. So we're just gonna double Crushing Hammer and pray for a heads. We do get a heads this time. Thank you very much. Crushing Hammer this, and we're gonna do it again one more time. Crushing Hammer again. Hopefully that works out. And we do get another heads, which is just perfect for me here. Throw this bad boy out. We have Misfortune. So I have a couple things I can do. I can go for a Misfortune Sisters, or I could go for a Iono, knowing that they do have the Iono, knowing that they do have the Lumineon in hand. Next turn, they could boss me. They could go for a Lumineon plus boss combo. So in this scenario, I think that what I'm going to do is I actually will go for the Iono play here and eliminate them from being able to Lumineon boss me, because I just don't want that to happen. And I actually get another Crushing Hammer, so don't mind if I do. I end up getting tails on this one, but it's totally fine. It is what it is. I do have the Industrious Incisors. Now, the one thing I am afraid of is if they have some like a double turbo energy, then the Koraidon can do a lot of damage to me here, so I'm just afraid of hitting it. I could just throw this back out and look for... I'm really digging for a Turo here. I'm really digging to see if I have a Turo. I feel like I might not have a Turo. I feel like my Turo might actually be prized, so the other Turo. So I will actually just go for a Junk Magnet here. And this time, instead of going for the Crushing Hammers, I'm just going to go for a Pal Pad plus 1 Crushing Hammer and just keep them in Zugzwang here. There's really not much they can do about it. And because I have the Pal Pad, next turn I will be able to pull a Turo should I need to. Yeah, I'm still in a good spot. I'm still in a really good spot. I want to save the Turo for either Turoing the Magnezone or Turoing whatever they end up bossing, assuming that they will boss something here. So I think that I'm still okay. We'll see what they end up doing, but no energy means that they're going to start attaching to their Regidrago. Interesting. They start attaching to the Regidrago. I do actually have De-Evolution available to me. So at some point I could go for a De-Evolution play knockout, which could be pretty cool. But I'm just going to go ahead and Crushing Hammer here. Might as well stick with old consistent. Unfortunately, I'm unable to hit heads that turn, which is fine. Let's go for a Cyllene here and grab potentially 2 cards. I actually grabbed none. So the coin flips are not with me this time. Go for a Turo here. Bring them back into my deck. Fortunately, unable to do much that time, but it should be okay. Man, I have so much in my discard. We'll go with a Nest Dash here. I'm not in any danger of decking out with double Super Rods here. But I do find the Turo in the end, so I will be able to use that next turn if I want to. If I need to heal, I think I just keep Crushing Hammers here. Like, I don't need to attack. I can just Crushing Hammer again, because the one thing I'm afraid of is I am afraid of a Retribution Strike with some sort of like a double turbo, and I'm also afraid of an attack where they retreat and knock me out. Do they have Tina in discard? The one thing is they don't actually have Giratina in discard, which I'm happy with. So you know what? I'm just going to go for a Crushing Hammer again, a Junk Magnet again, because they can just knock me off for 280 with the Giratina. So I'm okay with that. I think if the Crushing Hammers are successful next turn, I'm just going to go for a knockout. Okay, so they're going to end up switching here. They will end up finally switching and Professor researching their entire hand away. Do get Goodra into their discard, and they will also have the energy to attack here. So that is troublesome, to say the least. That is annoying, but it still should be okay. Let's see what attack they end up choosing to use. It's gonna be a Rolling Iron? Probably the Rolling Iron. I'm assuming it will be the Rolling Iron as their attack of choice here for 200 damage onto this. We'll see here if that's what they choose to use. Or what else do they actually have? Actually, 180. What is it? What attack was that? Oh, it was the Trinity chart, right? Yeah, Trinity Nova. Okay. So that is what they end up doing. And now, unfortunately, I was unable to get those Crushing Hammers enough. We'll do that. We'll just get rid of some energy here. Get rid of the fire energy. And we'll do the exact same thing again here. I do have the Turo, so I'm not in any danger. Unfortunately, unable to hit heads that time. So it does feel a little bit bad. But it is okay. I will just Turo here, bring this back into my hand. We will do this, throw this out. Magnezone goes on into the active spot here, and I know I have Cyllene available to me next turn should I wish to use it. Now, I could go for some heavy damage with Energy Crush and pretty much guarantee a knockout next turn. But the one thing is, that means I won't be able to Turo again the turn after that. You know what? Let's just go for the Energy Crush. Screw it. It does 200 damage because it has so much energy attached to it right now. And even if he uses, like, I wonder if he's going to use something like, let's see, what can I do here? It does from basic Pokemon and special energy, so that's fine. Assume they Trinity Nova again, maybe? They Trinity Charge or something like that? I wonder what they're gonna do here. A Squawkabilly. It's just a 2-prize liability. I'm very confused about that. That is interesting. Wait, what other Pokemon can... Okay, so they do have the boss's orders here. Like, they could knock out the Bibarel, or they just could keep me trapped. Be something they could do, and just not take the knockout at all. Oh, they're gonna de-evolution. Interesting. That is fine with me, honestly. I am fine with that, because I can just evolve it next turn. So I don't mind that at all. So I'm just gonna evolve it this turn. We will just Bibarel. We will actually not use the other Bibarel this time. And I wonder here if there is some sort of play I can do. I think, like, most importantly, I need a Cyllene here for sure. We will end up just Cylening here. And we finally do hit one head, so that's fine. What I want is the Turo here. Yeah, we're gonna get the Turo. Put it at the top of the deck here, and we are just gonna go for a Nest Dash, which will allow me to bring that Turo back up into my hand for next turn. We'll do this. TM Evolution doesn't really do anything for me here. And I will Super Rod some energy back, because that's one thing that I am lacking is some energy in my hand. So we will go ahead and do that. Bibarel doesn't really matter. I do have another Bibarel in my hand deck anyways. Relicanth, just in case they start targeting the Relicanth, I'll bring one more Relicanth back into my deck, and I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to chill. Next turn, I have the Turo guaranteed. So I will be able to bring the Magnezone back into my hand. The one sad thing is I don't actually have the evolution available to me to play. If I did, I would just Devo this, and that would be the end of it. Let's see if they have energy to actually attach. Oh, huh. Lance. Interesting. Oddly enough, the price of Lance has been completely going crazy recently in Japan because of Dragapult. But I don't know if Lance is really effective into this one. They end up just drawing 3 dragon cards, but he wants them in the discard pile, or sorry, they want them in the discard pile, not in their hand. So I don't really know if this is going to be that effective here. They have an Ultra Ball here as well, so they will Ultra Ball away 2 of these. Okay, so they will end up getting Tina. Now, this is a little bit scary because they could lose impact. However, they are super thin on energy. If I go for another Crushing Hammer play, they are in big trouble. So honestly, I'm not too scared. Because if they lost on their energy, they're going to be in a spot where they really just can't afford attack anymore. Unless they have a, another Super Rod, they are going to not be able to play the game. I'm totally fine with them doing that. They will Luminous Sign here for nothing, I think. I don't really know what that does for them. I guess thinning their hand if they have some sort of a draw ability? I don't think they do. I also don't know why they bench the squad. Yeah, so I'm thoroughly confused. I think my opponent is just stuck right now. They can't attack either. They likely, even if they have energy, they probably don't have like a fire energy or something. This doesn't do anything for them. They can't retreat either. So yeah, I'm okay with that completely. I will gladly Turo this Bidoof away. Bring this Magnezone back into my hand. And we'll just go ahead and Nest Dash here. Or for some nice draw. Honestly, like at this point, there's so little that they can really do. It doesn't even really matter that much. Because what I'm going to do this turn is I will just go ahead and knock this out. I mean, I could Junk Magnet, but I think just taking the knockout here is fine. You know what? Okay, so I could Junk Magnet or knockout. Thing is, if they have a boss, they could like... Actually, no, they would have gotten the boss of the minion. So I think knocking out is totally fine here. Yeah, so I'm just going to knock this out. I do have energy in my hand. So unless they get the Bibarel into active, I will be able to retreat pretty much anything. So we're just going to Energy Crush, knock the Regidrago right out. And I think that they're kind of cooked. Any of these in play will be in danger of getting knocked out except for
the Koraidon. Assuming they don't have Arceus, and they do, okay, so they Roxanne me, but it doesn't really matter because I do have the Bibarel. And I think that, okay, even if they Arceus here, there's just nothing they can do. I mean, they can attack, but next turn I'm just gonna hit enter and it's gonna be over. So GG's to my opponent, well played to them. Unfortunately, there's just nothing they can do. This is a really impressive deck when you get set up. Insanely impressive. We'll just enter in here and let the deck out actually win the game. And there you have it, guys. It's a pretty good W. It's a very long game. One thing about this deck is that it does run very thin on energy lines. So you'll see here, it only runs, I think, 4 energy in Omochikun's deck. So sometimes you are stuck in a spot where you just can't get any energy to actually play, which happened a bit in the mid game there. But if you are set up, it's just so ridiculously oppressive. The other thing that this deck does lack is that it lacks switch options. Your only option of switching is Turo. So your opponent could potentially do some sort of a boss trap and you're going to be stuck unless you manage to draw the Turo. And you're also, that means you're going to be stuck having to use Turo multiple times and using your Cyllene as well as your attack, your Junk Magnet to getting Pal Pad back. I think that if I were to change this deck list up, I would definitely consider adding a switch option. Throw in another Pal Pad as well. One Pal Pad is really rough. If your Pal Pad is prized, you're in a really tough spot, especially if your Cyllene hits double tails. You're going to be stuck with not being able to bring Turo back. And again, it's exacerbated by not having any ability to get your switches out. Last but not least, I think running a de-evolution is actually pretty good. So I was talking about de-evolution the entire time thinking that I had one in this deck. I actually don't. I did cook up another variation of this deck that uses Pokestop with a bunch more other cards in here. For example, the Heavy Ball. It has the Energy Surge in here as well. I would look for some switching options on top of this, but again, it does run the TM de-evolution, and potentially a Town Story could be good as well, because grabbing the Devo as well as grabbing the Evo could be really, really good. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I will do another playthrough of the Pokestop version of this Magnezone on my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/Cito. If you want to watch that live, go ahead and check that. I do stream Tuesday, Thursday, and sometimes on Saturdays if I'm not lazy. But I did hope you guys enjoy it, and go ahead and try this deck out. Let me know how it is in the comments below, and good luck on the ladder. Peace!